Good morning, my dear students. Today we are continuing with our geography chapter 4, agriculture. Students, in our previous lecture, we were studied about the introduction of agriculture and the types of economic activities. Now, students, economic activities are mainly of three types: primary activities, secondary activities, and tertiary activities. Now, students, today I will explain you about the factor affecting agriculture. Now, students, agriculture. Agriculture is one of the most important economic activity in the world. More than 50% of the population of the world is engaged in agriculture or agriculture related activities. About 75% of Indian total population is still depend on agriculture. That means agriculture is responsible for feeding millions of people and provides fodder to over 13 crore animals. Agro based industries derive their raw materials from agriculture. Now, students, factor affecting agriculture. The concentration of agriculture activities is confined to only some parts of the world where favorable conditions exist for crop cultivation. Factors that affect agriculture can be classified as physical factor or human factors. Now, students, I will explain you about the physical factors. Now, students, physical factors that affect the agriculture are topography, soil, availability of water, and climate. Now, students, topography. The topography of a place is a major factor that affects the agriculture. Landforms influence crop cultivation to a very large extent. Fertile plains, river valleys, and deltas are more suitable for farming. In these areas, the land has alluvial soil and population concentration is high. Hence, cheap labor, farm labors is easily available. Also, transportation and use of farm machineries is convenient. In plateau region, the presence of rocks makes plowing difficult and the soil is not so fertile. Similarly, in mountain regions, the soil is thin and soil erosion takes place easily. Transportation and use of farm machinery is very difficult at the mountain regions. So, topography of a place is one of the main factors that greatly influence crop production. Now, soil. Crops grow and developed in soil. The quality of soil also determines the type of crops that are grown. Alluvial soil is very fertile and most crops can be grown in it, while clayey soil retains a lot of water and only crops which thrive in water are grown in it. Soil which are porous and contain high nutrients or humus produced good crops. Now, climate. The crops that can be grown in a particular area depend on the temperature and rainfall of that area. For example, rice requires a lot of heat and water, hence it is grown in wet tropical and subtropical regions, while wheat requires moderate amount of heat and water and is grown in dry subtropical and temperate regions. Millets can grow in hot areas with less rainfall. Plants do not grow well in places with very cold climate, and thus hardly any agriculture activities occurred in cold regions. So thus climate controls the pattern of agriculture. Now, water or availability of water. Water is essential for agriculture. Rainfall is the primary source of water. Timely and adequate rainfall is vital for the growth of crops. Inadequate or uneven distribution of rainfall can cause drought, whereas heavy rainfall can cause floods. Proper irrigation facilities also ensure timely availability of water. Now, human inputs. Machinery or tools, fertilizers, means of irrigations, labor, transport, etc. used in agriculture activities are human inputs. Now, Machinery or tools. The use of machinery and technology not only saves the time and labors of farmers but also enhance the crop production. It is also required to use modern machinery and farm technology. Technology is required to improve the crop yield. Whenever newer and better technology is used, the crop yield has shown significantly better result both in terms of quantity and quality. Now, fertilizers. Different types of bio and chemical fertilizers are used to increase agriculture production. They provide the necessary nutrients to the soil required for the growth of plants. Now, what do you mean by biofertilizers? Some living organisms like bacteria enrich the soil with nitrogen absorbed from air and act as fertilizers. They are known as biofertilizers. Now, irrigation or means of irrigation. At places where rain or rainwater is not adequately available, agriculture is practiced by using different methods of irrigation. Hence, through irrigation, the region of arable land can be decreased. So, that means water is very essential for the growth of plants or crops. Rainfall is a natural source of water, but rainfall does not occur throughout the year. So, during that time or that period, stores water from ponds, wells, lakes, rivers, and reservoirs is supplied to crops. This method of supplying stored water for cultivation of crops is called irrigation. Now, market. Role of market is closely linked with transports. Market demands depend on size and affluence of the market population. It is also depend on religious and cultural beliefs. Now, transports. Transport. In agriculture, transportation is used for carrying crops from the fields to the storage place and to the market. In absence of transportation, the crops may get ruined in fields. Hence, transport facility is also one of the important factor of agriculture. Now, labor. Various agriculture activities require labor. In paddy fields, labor is required for transplanting paddy plants. In tea gardens, labor is needed for plucking tea leaves. Thus, the availability of labor is also an important factor. Thank you, students.